Yo, what is up, Sex Beast? Crazy Rabbit here, and today we're going to be doing top 5 easiest places to train in zombies. Now, this is all my personal opinion. These are just the spots that I think it's easiest to train in. You might have a different opinion, and that is completely fine, so let's go and get this shit started. Alright, coming in number 5 is going to be Mob of the Dead, and this spot is actually on the bridge. Now, the reason this is number 5 and it's not higher on the list is because the two downsides that it actually has. One of them is Brutus. Now, Brutus is going to spawn in each round, so if you've been there for one round, he's going to spawn in, but for every additional round you're going to be there, another Brutus is going to spawn, so if you've been there for 3 rounds, you're going to get 3 of them, and these guys are really a pain in the ass because they just shake your screen, so they're constantly going to be shaking your screen if they're following you, and they're not fun to deal with whatsoever. They're pretty easy to kill. All you have to do is really aim for the head, but it's just the screen shaking that I just can't stand. Another thing is, you really can't get drops on the bridge. There's no way you're going to get a drop on the bridge unless you kill Brutus that was spawned in at the prison, and then he respawned back in on the bridge. That's the only way you're actually going to be able to get a drop. Other than that, drops don't happen, but if you just want to survive, this is actually a really good place to survive. It's a nice big open area. The zombies spawn in pretty quick, so you can get the rounds over with pretty quick, and especially if you have the tomahawk, you can be here for quite a while, but every now and then, probably after a couple rounds, I would actually teleport back to the prison and then come right back to the bridge, so that way you can sort of reset the Brutus count, so you're not dealing with too many of those guys. But that's the reason this number 5 is because of Brutus. He's just kind of a really big pain in the ass because he shakes your screen and the whole drop thing. But it's a really easy place to train. It's really good for beginners, so let's go to number 4. Alright, coming in number 4 is going to be Town. So if you're actually in Town, this is a nice big open area. If you're just playing Town as its own map, this whole area is actually just one big spot to train at. But if you're just playing Transit, again, just come over here to the town and it's just one big open area. You can really open any doors. I always hear people say never open the Speed Cola door, but I mean, me personally, I always open it just because I want Speed Cola, and there really isn't no negative side effects for opening that door. You can kind of run however you want here. If you want to run your stamina up, run stamina up. If you want to run up near Jug and then hop down and then run up near Quick Revive, really do whatever you want. But the reason this is number 4 is because of the lava. The lava is a pain in the ass. It's just a constant pain in the ass to have to jump over that and to take damage and your screen to get all fuzzy with the fire. It's really not fun. That's why I really never play Town or Transit, is because the lava is just a huge pain in the ass that I don't want to deal with. But other than that, if they can just get rid of the lava, this is a really easy place to train. It's a really nice big open area. The zombies spawn in fairly quick, and you can really sort of hoard them up any way you want, and there's a really low risk of actually getting trapped in a corner just because there's so many ways to get out of it. So this is a really nice area. There's multiple different strategies you can do, or you can just really run around whichever direction you want to run because there's just multiple different options you can take. So let's go to number 3. Alright, and coming in number 3 is going to be Call of the Dead's Bottom of the Lighthouse. Now, this is a really nice big open area to train. You get a weapon on the wall right next to you. Just never open this bottom lighthouse door. Never open that door. That door always remains closed. You can open the boat if you want to. Sometimes I prefer not to. Sometimes I just happen to open it because I need to. But that one's really all up to you if you want to open it or not. But always keep that lighthouse door closed. You're really going to want to keep that one closed. It just helps with the spawn and flow of the zombies if you keep that door closed. Never open that door. Now, the only real downside to this is George. He's a real pain in the ass. And if you have the VR11, it's kind of hard to get him in the water and sort of get away from the zombies at the same time, because this little water area at the bottom of the lighthouse is kind of small, and you might get trapped in here very easily if you're trying to get rid of George. So what I would recommend doing if it's a new round and you have George, starting at spawn, get rid of George with the VR11, and then make your way over here to the bottom of the lighthouse. Once you do that, this is a very easy place to train. If you're on low rounds, I believe below 36, I think that's when the scavenger stops working with a one-hit kill. Just shoot the scavenger, and the scavenger can almost reach this entire area. And really the only place that I could see you getting trapped is actually over here where the zombies sort of drop down from that ledge. That's the only real place I've ever been trapped in. But other than that spot, just make sure George stays away from you and you'll be fine. So let's go ahead and get number 2. Alright, coming in number 2 is going to be Ascension. This spot's going to be over here near PhD Flopper. Now, this is definitely one of the easiest spots in zombies to actually train. The zombies spawn in kind of quick. It's not the quickest spot in Ascension, but they do spawn in relatively quick. And this spot's just so easy to do. All you really have to do is just keep running a circle or a U. The reason you want to run a U is if the zombies are coming up the stairs just one too many and you really can't get by them. You don't want to slip by them and accidentally down yourself. So you kind of just want to double back and make a U shape instead of an O shape. But other than that, this is probably the easiest spot to train in Ascension. There's a couple other spots you could do, but in my opinion, this is probably the easiest. You have Flopper right there, so if you're on early rounds, you can just keep flopping off. There's always that drop off up there near that window that you can always drop off if you're about to get cornered. If you're really not good at training zombies, this is probably one of the spots that I would recommend you go to just to sort of learn how and sort of get a good feeling for how to round up the zombies. So let's go ahead and get number 1. Alright, and coming in number 1 is going to be the Moon's Biodome. Now, this is definitely the easiest spot in zombies to actually do anything. The only one downside to this is it takes a while for the zombies to spawn in. So if you're trying to go for far rounds, this is definitely a strategy that I would not recommend. It just takes the zombies too long to spawn in because this is just such a big open area. But in terms of easiness, this is probably the easiest in my opinion. You can do whatever you want. There's really no set strategy to run in here because the zombies just spawn in the entire area. You could literally run from one end to the other and maybe not even get hit by a zombie, It's just such a big open area that you can really do whatever you want. You can go whichever way you want. The only downside, like I said before, is it takes forever to spawn in the zombies. And the astronaut, really, I wouldn't even say is a downside, because I mean, as long as you sort of pay attention to the relative area he's in, not the exact location, but just the area, you'll never run into him, and it's very easy to kill him. All you really need is like a ray gun or something like that, or you can just completely ignore him. And it's really all up to you if you want to make sure the excavator goes through it or not. I personally don't like having the excavator go through it, because I personally like having my gravity on, but that's all up to you. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm very curious to know, did you guys agree with this list? If not, put in the comments what you think should have went where, and if there was a spot on here that you guys did not see, put it in the comments. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Bye bye.